This Japanese film is twisted beyond imagination. Police were flooded with netizen reports against the director. They demanded a thorough investigation immediately. Netizens believed any moral person couldn't make this. Such a sick movie was unthinkable. The villainess's evil psyche was portrayed brutally. To keep viewers from psychological disturbance, the director hired Japan's top beauty actress. Yuriko Yoshitaka played the criminal role. Her beauty offset the film's disturbing tone. I thought that claim was totally overblown. After watching, I had only 6 words. So brace yourself mentally for this. Here's the full breakdown of Shaking Heart. The movie hits you with a punch. A cute girl shoves a bottle into a doll. She watches satisfied as fluids ooze out. Such a bizarre, incomprehensible act. It somehow fills her inner emptiness. Young but suffering from severe illness. It's extreme insecurity, lacking emotional anchors. She has zero ability to regulate anxiety. Whenever Misa sees something with a hole, she feels compelled to fill it up. Only then does her unease quiet down. Then one day, everything changed. She finds a manhole gap to satisfy emptiness. She collects nearby insects for fun. Lizards and worms all tossed inside, but insects are too small. She gets bored. She uses hats to catch more animals. Another girl appears, trying to get her hat. Misa hands it back, acting casual. The girl is terrified and falls into the river, watching the girl struggle to stay afloat. Misa doesn't scream for help at all. When the girl stops moving, she feels satisfied. At that moment, Misa realizes something. Filling the void isn't just stuffing holes. It's watching someone die in pain. For years, Misa never found another chance. Her inner emptiness stayed completely unfilled. She sat alone, replaying the drowning scene. That thrill still haunts her deeply. One day, Misa sees siblings walking by. Sudden gust of wind blows hard. The girl's hat drops into a drain. The boy helps lift the heavy cover, letting his brother reach in to grab it. But the cover's too heavy, he struggles. It's Misa's moment to strike. She pretends to offer help. Then, while the man is distracted, suns the cover down hard. Mrs. face lights up with pure ecstasy. No guilt. No regret whatsoever. Just that long-lost childhood high, finally back. 5 years fly by quickly. Her mental state prevents focusing on skills, so she enrolls in culinary school instead. But there, she meets someone even more twisted than her. Hikari, another cooking student. Hikari, like her, has deep psychological damage. She was sexually assaulted in middle school. Since then, she sees men as animals, and every so often, she cuts her wrists. Only then does she feel a fleeting calm. After learning Hikari's story, Misa's protective instincts go wild. She thinks Hikari's just like her, a flawed human. They quickly become inseparable best friends. Under their shared, twisted minds, they start hurting each other. You cut me, I cut you. And promise, only each other gets to slice their arms. Near their culinary school is a ramen shop. Soy sauce, 1.5, miso, 1.5, fried rice. Every time they walk home, the owner harasses them. Misa lures the ramen owner to the outskirts with something unspeakable. Then he kicked him off the high steps. After a few rolls, the guy was dead. Back then, surveillance and police were thin. They acted like nothing had happened. They spent happy, carefree days together. Until one day in class, Keiko suddenly collapsed, legs giving out. Misa finally realized. Her so-called best friend had been secretly self-harming. Keiko said it's because your cuts were too shallow. Couldn't satisfy me. But Misa wasn't listening. She saw it as pure betrayal. She pulled out a fruit knife and slashed deep into Keiko's arm with all her strength. Watching her friend's blood gush out, Misa felt that twisted satisfaction again. This was her 4th kill. After culinary school, Misa landed a kitchen job. But Misa, always psychologically broken, suffered there. She couldn't avoid daily contact with male co-workers, and hated how they lusted after her. She quit fast, with no friends, no support. She became a call girl in the red light district, but she never expected. Her first client was her old kitchen co-worker. Seeing Misa, he was more thrilled than shocked. He'd been desperate for her since the kitchen. Following the rule, if he can't have it, destroy it, he called another ex-co-worker to brag. Called her a fake prude, all kinds of cruel stuff. Behind him, Misa's eyes turned deadly. He even took her back to the old kitchen. He shoved her onto the counter, eager. The familiar place flooded her with memories of harassment. She grabbed a cast-iron pot, no hesitation, and smashed it down. His skull shattered instantly. Blood pooled everywhere. But her hands wouldn't stop. Misa cleaned the tools like a pro. Then she spotted a lone figure by the river. That stranger would change her life forever. Misa approached him slowly. She delivered her standard pickup line. The guy clearly missed the hint. So Misa spelled it out directly. The man slowly rose to his feet. He pulled cash from his wallet and handed it over. He even bought her dinner, pretty generous. He showed up by the bridge daily. He kept slipping her extra money. Yet still, he never once made a move on her. Misa felt something completely new. She didn't know how to handle it. She told him plainly, "I won't take handouts. Let me do something for you instead." He took her back to his place. What happened next? You might not like it. He asked her to rock him to sleep. Just help him fall asleep. Curious yet indebted, she didn't question why. This routine continued for several days. Is he even capable of normalcy? He hid nothing from her. 5 years prior, he accidentally killed a boy. His intentions were good, honestly, but he blamed himself entirely. He got probation, no jail time. To compensate the boy's family, he sold his late parents' house. Plus, he developed severe insomnia. The image of the boy crushed under a manhole haunted him. For 5 years, he couldn't forgive himself. He always carried poison wherever he went, ready to end it all when it got too heavy. Misa was shaken to her core. Because that tragedy was entirely her fault, Misa finally felt a twinge of guilt. She suddenly gagged and ran to the bathroom. The man realized Mesa was pregnant, but his next move was incredibly twisted. He proposed marriage to Mesa and begged her to keep the baby, because he thought raising a child unrelated to him would redeem his guilty conscience. Aberi asked her. Mesa, equally twisted, agreed readily. A few months after they married, a baby boy was born. As they raised the child together, their distorted psyches seemed to improve. Mesa no longer had killing urges. Through daily life with her husband and son, she found family love filled her void. The man also detached from his guilt. However, good times didn't last. Years later, a former coworker found Mesa. He knew Mesa killed another colleague. He threatened to call the police, demanding she spend the night with him. To keep her happy family safe, Mesa went to a karaoke bar with him. But after just one sip, he dropped dead from poison instantly. Remember that call the ex-coworker made? The voice on the other end was him. With all loose ends finally tied, she thought she could live happily ever after. But as soon as she got home, 2 cops followed. Police traced the call right back to Mesa. But as a serial killer, her mental fortitude was truly unmatched. She easily talked the cops away. Though cops were easy to fool, her husband wasn't so gullible. He noticed half the poison bottle was missing. Only Mesa knew exactly where it was kept. He asked Mesa directly if she killed him. Mesa hesitated, then flatly denied it. If she confessed now, all her past crimes would come out. Hiding her dark past felt disloyal, so she decided to write everything down. Just as she was about to die, her young son appeared unexpectedly. She hadn't even succeeded in dying. To save her son from drowning, she pushed him back to shore. Exhausted, she drowned herself. But due to deep childhood trauma, he lost all memories of his mother, until one day he found her diary. He couldn't accept his beloved mother was actually a serial killer. His father happened to come home. Seeing the diary, he reacted calmly. He told his son quietly, "Yes, your mother killed many people, but her love for you was real." But the son couldn't process it. He refused to believe a prostitute who killed several people was his mom. This diary wasn't finished yet, because after she drowned, timely rescue saved her life. He had also read her diary. The man couldn't accept it. The woman who ruined his life was his beloved wife. Hatred filled his heart completely. After Mesa woke up, he drove her to a reservoir. He tied her hands with rope, attached a heavy iron block to the other end. Sa said nothing upon seeing Miss. Just before death claimed her, he pulled her back from the edge, facing the woman he once loved deeply. He still couldn't bring himself to go through with it. Then he untied Misha's ropes, gave her cash, just like the first time they met. "Don't ever show up around me or my kid again." He didn't yell, but his words sliced her like 1,000 blades. The man walked off, never once glancing back. Yet, his own heart hurt just as bad. Maybe this was the only way to finally make peace with the guilt eating him alive. After that, Misha got plastic surgery. Then, she landed a new kitchen job in a neighboring city. There, she met Chui Hui, a friend 2 decades younger. But she never imagined that this young girl named Chi Hui had fallen into debt with loan sharks because she was naive. She couldn't pay, so they forced her to act in films to settle it. When Misha found out, she couldn't just stand by, pretending to be Chi Hui's aunt, Ming. She told everything about how the thugs had dragged her away. Her son flew into a rage. He didn't care about Kai Hui's past. All he wanted was to kill those loan shark scum himself. Misha thought, "Oh, killing? I've got that covered." Before her son could even move, she'd already wiped out every last one of those thugs. And why? Just so her son could live clean. The only one who knew he wanted to kill them? That Aunt Ming. How could she possibly kill so many just for herself? He quickly grew suspicious of Ming's identity. When she wasn't looking, he yanked up her sleeve. A faded scar, clearly self-inflicted, was right there. Now he knew this woman was his mother. He screamed at her. "Didn't you write in your diary you'd never kill again? Why did you come back to torment me?" They stared at each other all night until morning. After hours of thinking, her son finally understood her reasons. He didn't know how to judge her, but he knew his father never stopped thinking of her. So, just as Misha was about to turn herself in, "Mom, Dad's in the hospital. Room 509, Central Hospital." Misha went to the hospital and saw her husband for the last time. They smiled at each other, like they were seeing their younger selves again.